Good morning, guys. Monday, and I am waking up with my first cup of coffee, and it's been a 3-day weekend, obviously. So this Monday going in, who knows what I might be walking into. There's a lot that can happen with the members that I am still dealing with. I still have about, the caseload. When I first let my boss know that I was interested in going back to the navigator position, I had about maybe over 40 members. Now I'm down to 20, or maybe 25 or something, but there's still, amongst those members, there are still ones with some issues, some rental assistance things, transportation, things like that. So, hopefully nothing too crazy happened on the day off that we had for the weekend, because I'm not accessible. And so we'll see. When I log back in, I'll see any texts, any voicemails that came through, but there's probably not too much that has happened, because I did my best to make sure that I did everything I could before I logged out at 5 o'clock this past Thursday. So we'll see how the day goes. And I'm at the hospital today, so we'll also see how many members I can get screened and whatnot. So once again, working as a care manager is really a balancing act, because you have to manage your members and you have to do your screens, and it does take a lot of time. So we'll see what's up. Hello. Today has been pretty easy, actually. I went and visited just about every room of each member that was eligible for a screening, and they all declined. But that's okay. Hey, listen, what are you gonna do? Also, I was able to send a few referrals out for a member who I had previously helped, and also another member on my caseload is back here in the hospital, so I was able to touch base with him and do a few things. So that's pretty much that. The majority of the day is over, and when I get back home, I want to start working on track number 11. And that's it. That's the day. It feels good to be back to work. It feels good to be back in the routine, and that's that. No more 3-day weekends for a while, not till Labor Day, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I like the routine. Being out of the routine is actually, believe it or not, a little more distressing to me than the 5-day normal work week. So, and as far as my caseload being transferred out, one of my managers did want an update as far as how many members are now on my caseload. I have an even 25, and I reassured her that I've been reviewing each member's eligibility and what needs to be done and so forth. So this way it'll make for an easier transition. So that's how the day has been, and I'm looking forward to getting home and creating song number 11. Okay, day is done. The day has been pretty good so far. It really there hasn't been much happening. There's no cold calls that I have to do as a navigator. I went through my caseload, my 25 members, and there was very little I needed to do. Most of the heavy duty stuff has already been done. So at this point, I'm really just kind of on standby, just laptop is open, just checking things out, seeing if I missed anything. I did also notice that my list of members, it's an Excel spreadsheet. There is now an additional list that says care manager assigned. So this means that they're in the process of now assigning the rest of my members out. For me, this is a good thing because it's one step towards being a sole navigator. It's not that care management has been a bad thing, but for me, there's less on my plate when I only have to call and do the screen and eligibility assessment. That's where it ends. As a care manager, you're screening, doing the eligibility assessment, a care plan, and then you are managing that member. Times, however many, are on your caseload, and some are really low maintenance. You just got to order a food box, that's it. And there's others who are about to be on the street, so you got to contact different agencies, you have to follow up, there's a lot of hand-holding that you got to do. And it's a balancing act to do that along with being in the hospital and also doing all of your screens and your outreach. And, for me, it's my own personal choice to lessen my plate. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If there were a pay cut, if there was, a pay cut involved, I might have second thoughts. However, both positions pay the same, and I've mentioned this before, so therefore it really doesn't make a difference, financially. So why not? I was a navigator. I was curious about the care management position. I went in, I gave it a really good shot, and it's not for me. And so, I communicated this to my boss in a very fair way. I'm giving them all the notice they need. And, now it's about picking up the pieces and moving ahead. So, I don't think there was anything wrong with trying out the care management position. I just don't think anyone really told me all of the really heavy-duty details. And no one was responsible for that. It's just that there are some people who can take that on. I'm not one of them. The rest of the day brought some really good news. I was down to 25 members. They all got reassigned, but not before I finished up some loose ends. I didn't know that today was going to be the last day tending to all of them. I contacted a few of them. I followed up on some referrals. I really went all out. I even made notes on a spreadsheet with all of the members, that the other care managers will be looking at, so that this way there's no real questions. And I also, at the end of the day, contacted all of the care managers and let them know that I was available to answer any questions about any of the members. Off like a prom dress. The rest of the day, it is just downtime. There is really nothing left to do unless any care manager has any questions. I did spend about a good 20 minutes talking about a member to their new care manager. This was the one who I had spent hours and hours working with to get her a security deposit. Of all the members, she was the most needy and had the most needs. In fact, she called me today, and as a navigator, I cannot call her back. I cannot do anything care manager related. All I could do is message her and just let her know that, that her new care manager is going to be taking care of her needs. And so I did have to spend quite a bit of time connecting with this new care manager, just going into some detail about my progress, what I was able to do for her, what I was not able to do for her, and whatnot. So productive conversation. But fortunately, the new care manager has all the information she needs. after I clock out, I'm going to head to one of my clients to do some energy work. This is the only evening this week where I will not be going straight home, and it's my longest work day of the week. So after tonight, it's all downhill. Good morning, folks. Happy Thursday. It is not my Friday because this is a 5-day work week. This is the first 5-day work week I've had in almost a month. Hi there. Quiet day. Only one member who I needed to approach to screen, and he wanted to do the screen and the eligibility assessment. So I was able to work with him, and he'll be assigned a care manager, which is great. And as of right now, the only thing there is to do is to be on standby in case any care managers who took any of my members, in case any of them have any questions, or if any providers or any other team players with these members happen to message me not knowing that I am no longer the care manager, so that this way I can take that information and forward it along as needed. So right now I'm a bit of a messenger, more of a messenger than anything. There are no cold calls to do as of yet. I'm not on live calls because I'm here on site at the hospital. So I'm going to try to use the time as productively as possible. When you're dealing with something that you don't want to have to deal with, in order for you to approach it consciously, you have 3 choices, and this is according to Eckhart Tolle. You can either walk away and remove yourself, okay? You can either stay in the situation and try to make changes, or you can work with your mind and your body to come to an acceptance that this is the way it is. How can I work with this? So with my job, that was an example of option number 2, making changes. I'm going to tell you an example of something where option number 3, coming to an acceptance, is the only option, and that is my utility bill. So anybody who lives in New York State specifically knows that the utility company, which I will not name, tends to be really, really pricey. So about a year ago, my utility bill was like $150 a month, right? Within 2 months, it went up to $300. 2 months after that, it went up to $550, and just a few weeks ago, I opened up the bill, and it is now up to $777 per month, and I am not kidding. For those of you who are familiar with the way certain utility companies can work, they can put you on what's called a budget plan, where they take the average. So you don't get 100, you don't get 700. I'm on a budget plan. Their budget plan works every 3 months. So the next 2 months, I'll also be getting those bills. So can I move out? No, I'm not willing to move out. Can I make changes? No, I've already made whatever changes that I can. I've already called them, and I've already, discussed being on a budget plan, which I am. So the only thing I can do is come to an acceptance. This does not mean that I have to be happy about it. It doesn't mean that I don't budget. It doesn't mean that I don't, try to cut back in other areas, but I can't make the bill change. That's the reality of the situation. So what do I do about it? Go to my breathing, go to my body. Am I feeling any distress about this? I come to a place of calm, and the trick is, what can you do about it? Can you work with your budget? Where can you start spending less? Where do you have extra money? What have you been spending money on? Tattoos, for example. If I do need to change my budget, tattoos are gonna unfortunately be the first thing that's gonna go, because they are not a necessity. Granted, my tattoo artist is one of my best buddies, and I love the guy like a brother. But nevertheless, he'd be the first person to understand if I need to put tattoos on hold for a little while to accommodate my budget. I might not have to do that though. Other things I can do: can I get more people in my yoga classes? Are there any online endeavors where I can start making more money? On a website, by the way, you can also teach classes. So that's something that I can do. I'm not going to go. So basically, I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to get creative, and I'm going to put it out to the universe. Okay, give me the ideas. What can I do? As Kathleen Turner says in Serial Mom, life does not have to be ugly. There are a lot of people who would have had a heart attack when they looked at that bill, but I'm not. I had my moment. I had my moment where I almost cried, by the way, and I didn't film that, but I do want to, as troubling as this bill is, I want to just share this with you guys and kind of tell you what I'm doing with it. Video diary update for you. We now have 10 finished tracks, 5 more to go. So I touched bases with Goathead Records. They are taking care of the mastering of the tracks. How it works is that when all of the tunes are done, I put them all on Google Drive in a folder, and then I give the DJ access. He takes them, he masters them, he sends them back. So the trick is to be able to have all of this done. With these guys, you really do have to time it well because they're very busy, and sometimes it does take some time for them to get back to you. So it's now the 6th of July, and my intent has been to have everything finished by the 10th. I'm not going to have 5 tunes finished by then. I did touch base with Goathead. They're so good, and I'm going to give us all 2 more weeks. So I'm going to push the release date to the 24th. I think that's a wise idea. What that is going to do, it's going to give me 1 week to get 5 more tracks done, and it's going to give them 1 week to be able to master everything and get it back to me in time for me to get it to DistroKid, meaning all of the tunes, the collection, and have it released by the 24th. The reason why I want to be able to have a solid date is because you're more likely to sell more if everybody knows about it ahead of time. That's why I don't want all of the tracks back on the 24th and then submit it in, and then, oh, by the way, a new album's out. We want it to be, okay, the 24th, it's going to be out. I've already announced it's going to be out by the 10th, but it's not going to be finished by the 10th. Unfortunately, there were too many other things going on. But that's all a part of the creative process. You do have to be flexible, and you do have to be willing to embrace that change. I also am going to communicate the new release date to Rider Records. They are a huge reason why I even made this album. Like it's a bad thing. Because they need tracks. They need tracks to put out there. Just so that they're aware of what's going on. I think communication is extremely important when you're working with anybody else, let alone a record company, let alone a distributor. It's important that everybody's on the same page, and this is also the business aspect of making an album. And so 2/3 of the album is completely done and ready for submission. However, we want to be able to all at once, in one shot, send all 15. So that's what's going on. And the tunes are really great. I'm really happy with them. And at this particular point, I really feel like I have a good album. If I were to submit everything tonight, which is what I would have to do if I want the July 10th release, I'll only have those 10. 7 of those have already been released, so there's only three new ones, even though the 7 have already been remastered. Anyway, I just wanted to keep you guys posted on what was going on.
acorn squirrel, but do you know where all your nuts are? You need a plan and a right-hand man. Learn how you can achieve FIRE, gain financial independence, and retire early. Call Lucas Thomas, your right-hand man in financial planning today at 602-885-1148 or visit rhmreal.com.